Hi, welcome back to another show. My name is Jitu Jason and you're watching Impact India. Let's get started with the first and only news for today, which is, will Elon Musk destroy India's telecom duopoly? Well, the answer is a little bit complicated. Let me catch you up on what is happening exactly, which is Starlink is the satellite based network system that Elon Musk has built with his SpaceX company, and it is competing for spectrum in India and it is competing with obviously Airtel and Jio, which is like the duopoly that we have. So now, what is the issue exactly here? Starlink isn't fighting to get into India. It has gotten into India in partnership with Airtel and Jio. It's fighting over the rules under which it gets to operate in India, especially spectrum. India is unwilling to give Starlink any spectrum because then it would become an equal competitor to Jio and Airtel, which these two companies don't want. So they are kind of, I don't know, but they might be lobbying for this. Anyway, and Jio and Airtel don't want satellite companies getting what they see as a cheap, easy. It's not cheap, okay, it's expensive, and it's not easy. It's difficult to launch rockets into space cheaply and do it effectively and cost effectively. And they don't want Starlink to have access to the same telecom market. So what is happening here is Jio is partnering up with Starlink to provide you with Starlink internet, okay, and Airtel is doing the same thing. Airtel is partnering up with Starlink to give you internet. So basically these people want a cut. That's the long story short, okay. But this is just for the typical service that you get, the telecom service, the 3G, 5G, 4G and all of that. Now the benefit of this is that there won't be any dead zones anymore. Right now Airtel and Jio networks, you can't get them in dead zones. You cannot get them at sea. You cannot get them when you're on a flight. That would go away. That would be solved. You can get network everywhere, pretty much everywhere, unless you are under the ocean or in a cave or something like that. Now, what these two companies don't, and the interesting fact is Airtel already partnered up with Starlink in Africa to give D2D, direct to device network service. D2D means you don't need, typically in order to use Starlink, you need a dish antenna. You don't need that for D2D. Your phone itself is capable of communicating via satellite in space. You don't need a dish antenna for that. So the Airtel and Starlink are already doing that in Africa, but they're not doing this in India. So let me give you a brief understanding about what Starlink is allowed to do and what it is not. Starlink sold through Jio, yes, that's allowed. Starlink sold through Airtel, that is also allowed. Starlink to ordinary phone directly to device is not yet approved. Okay, Jio plus Airtel and Starlink D2D not currently announced as a commercial Indian service. So even via Airtel and Jio, we are still not going to get direct to device service, which means your phones are not probably going to talk through a satellite in dead zones in the ocean or when you're in a flight. So that is the whole thing. At some point, don't you just wish to be a dictator and then just rule this country with an iron fist? Like, how hard is it to get Starlink or internet telecommunication? There are dead zones. There are people who don't have access to internet in rural parts of India where there is no terrestrial tower because it's not economical to build one there. Don't you just want to, it's fun to think about, don't you just want to be a dictator of this country and then just rule with an iron fist? Okay, I'm just joking. Maybe a little. Okay. Anyway, that is it for today. I will see you in the next one. Until next time, bye.